Hello, my name is Phil Bourne, and I'm going to talk to you today about one of my favorite brands, and that brand is Nintendo. Nintendo is a video game company that produces games and video game systems. Three reasons that Nintendo is one of my favorite brands. The first would be the company produces excellent quality video games and consoles. They've been making amazing content for a long time, and Nintendo has always made extremely uh, quality games that have been very entertaining and been very well polished for as long as I can remember. Uh, a second reason would be that the company is extremely innovative and they attempt to recreate themselves in many ways to increase, the value and the enjoyment for the user. Over the last number of years, they've always been trying to make new strides in controllers and things like that to help keep everything kind of cutting edge and allow players to enjoy things in a new way, which is very cool. A third reason is that it's a company I've been a fan of for probably the last 20 years. I think my first video game system was a Nintendo, and it makes me loyal to the company. Um, they've done a great job of creating, quality content for so long that it's something that you kind of expect, and so now it's something that you're more trusting of that brand that's been around for so long and that you've enjoyed for so long. So how does this brand provide value? This brand provides value by making great games and products that are unique to their own consoles and provide entertainment for gamers. The company has continued to make great games for years and has always been on cutting edge of technology advances into the gaming industry. So what I mean by that, the brand has a certain number of characters and intellectual property that's unique to the Nintendo brand. Um, their video game library of unique games is kind of expansive, and because of that, you have a lot of games that you can only play on a Nintendo that are very well made, quality games that are very enjoyable. And that creates value for their company because nobody else can have that material. And I think that's been seen over the years throughout many different types of brands, including, like Mario. The whole industry is only going to be on Nintendo, right? So that's one of the ways that they provide value. The primary target audience for Nintendo, you might first think that it was aimed solely towards children or teenagers or even up to college age kids. However, in the last few years, I believe Nintendo has widely opened up its target audience to include entire families and people from all age groups across the globe. You can kind of see that in some of their ads and other forms of marketing where they show an entire family getting involved with, from children to grandparents playing, either party games or family-oriented games where everyone is getting involved and kind of having a good time within that. So with that being said, I would say that I am in the target audience. I saw an article from segmentnext.com that discussed some Nintendo Switch demographics, and Nintendo Switch is the newest console that's been released, and it stated that 46% of consumers of the new console were between the ages of 19 and 34, and of those, roughly 90% were male and 10% were female. This puts me directly in the middle of the main demographic, and I think it's clear that Nintendo is targeting these individuals with their games and product releases. Nintendo has always been big on party games and games that include multiple people, so that kind of shows some things that are directed towards groups of people that are, college age, or people that were more inclined to get together with friends and play games in that manner, which is definitely myself. So if we wanted to look at the success in building brand loyalty, I would say Nintendo has been building brand loyalty since the release of its first Nintendo Entertainment System in 1985. I think that throughout all of the console wars that have taken place, Nintendo probably has the largest following of gamers on a global scale. Nintendo is especially prominent in Japan, where it all began. And I know a lot of individuals like me first started playing games on a Nintendo, and it's always got a kind of nostalgic feel to it that keeps everyone kind of interested in what content they're releasing from year to year. One key brand strategy that Nintendo has, I would say, would be innovation. For better or worse, sometimes Nintendo strives to continue to do things in new and exciting ways. If you think back to like the Nintendo 64 controllers that had three different, holding locations, that was unique and not something anyone else had done before. You can think back to the Wii. The Nintendo Wii had motion sensors, and they were the first people to do that, and included into a main console. The Wii U had a tablet that was slightly different, and then now the most recent console, the Nintendo Switch, has removable controllers that can be held individually in each hand, or they can be plugged into a handheld controller that's very similar to the normal mainstream controllers. And the whole entire system is a tablet that you can pick up and take with you, and take the entire console with you with a screen and play it anywhere at a very similar resolution and gaming experience, which is extremely different than any of their main competitors that are all pretty much landlocked to home. Uh, it's just very exciting and interesting to see the company that continues to innovate and change the way people are able to enjoy their products. So a couple different competitors. Microsoft Xbox is one of the main competitors, and they market kind of more towards serious gamers, or gamers that are playing single-player games, maybe not necessarily a party or family-oriented system. And it's also marketed as a video entertainment center. EverydayDigitals.com claimed that Microsoft's Xbox One is tailored more towards being a media box in the living room than just a game system. It makes sense that Microsoft has kind of, brought in this new gaming device and has created some products there, and then got the system to kind of set up in a majority of families' homes, and then they've also been able to release new content on that system, such as television or different streaming services and things like that. And people have started to see like the Microsoft Xbox become more of a video entertainment center than just a video game console. And I think Microsoft has done a good job of marketing it as such, which is not necessarily better or worse per se, but it's just very different. Another competitor is the Sony PlayStation, and Ad Age claimed that Sony's PS4 wasn't being marketed as a video entertainment center, but as a video game device. Sony's PS4 is still kind of staying true to being a video game company that is able to do, video entertainment, streaming, things like that, without necessarily being marketed directly as a video entertainment device. It still has a lot more of its own intellectual property and video game library that's directly for Sony PS4, as opposed to Microsoft's Xbox, which has a lot more content that is cross-platform. It's a lot of the AAA games that are being made for every system, but doesn't have a lot of games that are specifically Xbox One related, whereas Sony has quite a few more, and Nintendo has even more than that. So that's a little bit of information on some of their competitors, and that's everything that I have for you. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you much.